Come on through, Mickey van der Ven. What a day it is. A night of lovely goals and glory for Tottenham Hotspur. United yet again in the mud. They're all going to point at Ten Hag, and to be honest, he is a clown. United's falling down. I think I've used that sentence too many times recently. This cycle that Man United seems to be going through, they're bashing heads against the wall. And truthfully, something has got to be up, because why are they going through about 4 or 5 managers every 2 to 3 years and still playing as shit? Bruno getting sent off is one thing. We'll get into all of that in a minute, but just look at yourselves, United. Take a deep, dark look and think, what the hell are you playing at? You can go screaming, United. Your stadium's flooding. The team who have spent billions from the Saudis and probably broken fair play and absolutely smashing you at the other side of the pond. And you're a laughing stock to everyone. It's lovely to see, but I would be seriously worried. Spurs starting off in style. It could have been another 6-0 like it was a few years ago. They ended up winning 3-0. I'm just going to start at Mickey van der Ven goal. He is lightning quick, but the Man United defenders stood there like statues. Come on through, Mickey van der Ven. What on earth do they think they are doing? Just letting a man from halfway line just run right down the wing and whipping it in right. Dalot does fuck all. Delict. None of the players, even the midfielders, don't pressure. They don't go to tackle. It's like they're playing a Sunday league match and they've got to go home to play FIFA or something like that. Oh yeah, we just got to turn up for a match. You know, I can't really be asked to play. I mean, play 200 grand or whatever, but you know, I turn up, try my best, and that is it. And if I was watching that shit, I would be gone, just like all the other United fans. It weren't a fire drill, Spurs. They were absolutely dog shit, United were. It was terrible. I think Garnacho was the best player on the pitch. He actually showed some urgency, you know, tried to play well. But in the end, it didn't matter because Spurs ran through them time and time again. Bruno getting sent off. Was it a red? He slips, doesn't he? But in this day and age, any referee is going to give that. It's very unfortunate. If it's me, I'm not giving him a red card. But, you know, it's high on the boot. The challenge is a red card. If you take all the context out of it, because that's what they do nowadays, they don't actually value the situation. It's just, high boot, you're sent off. But United didn't help themselves anyway. There was dog shit. Spurs kept coming and coming. And it was lucky to only be 1-0 at half time. Then quickly in the second half, Kuleveski, just a little dink over. Brennan Johnson was brilliant as well. Spurs fans have been absolutely digging into him. And then Brennan Johnson, last 3 games, has scored 4 goals or something like that. I don't understand what their problem is with Johnson. I think he's one of their best players. If it's me, it's got to be Son, Solanke, Brennan Johnson. Kuleveski, yes, he's good. He's direct. I know he scored. But Brennan Johnson's got something about him as well. He's not shit. He's not fucking Turbo Timo, who missed about 4 clear chances. If he'd have took his chances, he'd have had a hat-trick and it would have been 6-0. But anyway, it didn't matter because about bad United work. Kuleveski was the second. And then the youth came on. Postecoglou, Big Ange had done his job. Brings on the youth, and it's a wicked cross. Nice little flick on the subs combining. And Mr. Dominic, the anime lover, Solanke, what's he doing? He's got all these celebrations now. I'm not a big anime lover, but I respect the creativity from that man. He gets his arrows well and fires that. I think he might have killed someone in the crowd, but he probably wouldn't because everyone had left. That was empty at the end after he put that 3rd goal in. And Ange will be happy. Erik Ten Hag is now going to come under a lot of pressure. The players he's signed, Mason Mount, has been an absolute flop. I know he's had injuries, and I'm not targeting him in any way. Rashford, who's been at the club for ages, he was supposed to be the next Wayne Rooney, almost, or live up to that expectation. Terrible. Højlund, I know he's been injured again. He's probably been one of the better signings, but yet again, is he really been the main man? No, he's got rid of Martial, he got rid of Sancho, he's fell out with a lot of players, Ten Hag. Now, that's the one thing I would argue Ten Hag has done wrong. The falling outs and the way that he's like, right, you're not part of my team, fuck off, I'm isolating you, I'm going to put you in the youth team and all this. Maresca for Chelsea has done it in a different-ish way. He's been more honest with the media, I think. He's done similar stuff, but he's gone, listen, like he did it with Chukwuemeka, he's not going to play, we're going to sell him, basically, so he can play 35 games. It's a very similar situation. I feel like Chelsea and Man United in the terms of the amount of money they spend, and a lot of them players don't come to fruition. It's lucky that Chelsea have found gold in Cole Palmer, and he carries a lot of that team. And they have improved, I will say that, under Maresca. It's just their defence is shit. United, they had that talisman when Bruno came in, and it looked good under Ollie, and then ever since Ollie, it has been like that sort of thing, but it's just the expectations of Man United. Erik Ten Hag's won you 2 trophies. The football, yes, is probably shit, but it's the way they treat him as if. Well, I don't know if the majority of United fans treat, but from the external media, he's treated like he's the fucking worst manager in the world. I genuinely believe it's just Manchester United. There's something wrong within that club, whether it's the players or whether it's just the system that Manchester United's controlled in regarding who controls transfers and all this stuff. It's broken and it's old-fashioned and it doesn't work. But a lot of these players, like people say McTominay's the problem. You're still playing shit. He's going and scoring for Napoli, eating his pizza, and you're playing wank. They'll still end up beating Villa next week, but it is what it is. I think Man United do need to look at themselves, the players, and realise, right, what are we doing wrong? Do we have that fight and motivation to fight for the badge? It doesn't look like that. I think the only one who looked like he wanted to fight for the badge was Garnacho. And it's easy for me to say I'm not playing the game. When you're getting overrun and stuff like this, it's part and part in it. It's the players not almost downing tools and the manager not setting out the right tactics or giving any response to the way that Spurs are playing or like the team that he's against are playing. So it's a bit 50-50, but I don't genuinely believe that if you sack Ten Hag, it ends, because we've seen it time and time again. Ten Hag's won the trophies as well. You know, that's what they've been searching for, Man United. And in the end, they still almost, it's Erik Ten Hag's got to go. Who the hell do you want? You want Thomas Tuchel? Because I promise you, I would bet £1,000 that Thomas Tuchel, he might do better. Yes, he might do better, but it will end in the same way. They'll play the players or whatever will happen. Man United will get overrun, get beaten a lot of times, play shit, and Thomas Tuchel will get sacked. It's a 2 to 3 year cycle. It's happened with Mourinho. It's happened with Ollie. It's happened with Rangnick. Rangnick spoke fact to the media about what was happening in United, and he got fucking punished. And then it's happened with Ten Hag. It just doesn't stop this cycle, and it's because they're so obsessed over what they had with Alex Ferguson. You're not going to get it. Put it in your head, you are not at that level anymore. I'm not saying stick with Ten Hag, but it's not entirely his fault. It's a mix of everything, of the players playing shit and not playing for the badge, Ten Hag's tactics okay, and probably not presenting a lineup or a way of playing in the 2 to 3 years that has sort of sticked or stuck, and he's switched and swapped so many players. He's fell out with so many players. I do blame him for that. But, as I've said, look, Ollie was at the wheel at one point. Ten Hag was fucking flying, and the way it comes down at Man United is incredible, and it happens every single time. I don't know what else to say, United fans, but just be grateful for the trophies you've won, and it's also the external media. They almost wrap it up saying, "Oh, right, it's not the old Man United, you know. They're supposed to be challenging for titles, they're supposed to be doing this." Yes, they are, but Liverpool, all these clubs, even Chelsea to some extent, you know, they've all won these leagues. But Liverpool at one point before Klopp came in, they was fucking scrapping for Europa League and all this shit. Now it's Chelsea, you know, are on the up a little bit. Man United are doing it. Spurs have always been Spurs, but they're just not at the top of the chain anymore. It's Man City, it's Arsenal, and potentially Liverpool, depending on how well they play, you know. It's just how they are in the DNA. They just need to build that DNA, whether it's with Ten Hag or not, but sacking a manager every 3 years doesn't work, unfortunately.